Computer's slow today. All right, so after good close yesterday on good volume, we are above the 50-day moving average on the NQ. See if it's the same on the Qs. Yep, looks like it. Barely though. We'll see if we can get a little bit higher, a couple percent higher. That would be great. Stock futures reverse as Goldman Sachs lifts Dow. Okay. Goldman Sachs, B of A had earnings. Yeah, we do have a slew of earnings tomorrow. You know what? Let's do this. Let's look at the EIBD. Let's look at sector leaders. We should have done this yesterday. Still deep in lower half, wide loose base, extended from a cup, trying to regain 10-week. Team is extended from a cup. Well, they had it last week extended. It pulled back. Oh, wow. Look at yesterday. Look at yesterday on team. Very good day on team yesterday. Volume was a little bit light, but the day before yesterday had very low spread in terms of the high and the low and very good volume. So that was probably, this is an underreaction due to accumulation over here probably. Yeah, I think we're out of the bear market, Justin. At least it appears that at this time. Hey, yesterday, I believe I had something wrong with my stream. I had two audio sources going. So if you guys ever hear something or see something weird, please let me know. Because when I did my Real Crypto Power Hour and I tried to play a video, I noticed both of my audio sources were going. I keep one muted. And anyway, let me know if you guys have issues. Because if you did, I was not aware yesterday. But great day on team yesterday. I wish I would have checked out a trade yesterday. I did not. I actually didn't even look at the market the rest of the day. How did Vive end up doing? Wow, Vive had a great day. So Vive is in sector leaders. TTD has a double bottom entry according to IBD. Okay, so there's your first low, there's your second low, and that's your entry point. I've already got it marked out. Looking for an early entry here. May or may not be warranted. That's going to be an additional risk. You're going to have to decide if you want to. Accumulation's been pretty good. I mean, it's been almost straight up. Not as healthy as something like Netflix in terms of the volume, but the action's been nice. Looks like now was trying to make a move. It hasn't crossed that level quite yet. Okay, so I think what I need to do, I'm doing a few things right now. I'm mostly invested. I still have some cash, and I'm trying to find a decent place to put said cash. So exploring, Tilray dropped 17%. What happened? So looking at Vive. So another potential double bottom. Looks like it tried to cross the buy point yesterday. So 20% in Vive would be about 121. I go by about 20%, 20% rule, give or take. All right, so Vive's not looking too bad there. TTD. Yeah, and I did add to my NASDAQ position yesterday. I don't anticipate it being profitable immediately. You know, we may chop around for a bit. I think that would be a little healthy. spending some time up, preferably above the 50-day moving average. Like I said earlier, I'd like us to move higher, maybe to 165. If we can make this a little shelf, that'd be fantastic. That would be ideal. Not sure if it's in the cards. Maybe something like that. That would be nice. But we'll have to wait and see. So TTD you're looking at, was that 150? So that'd be another 30 bucks. That'd be 180. That's easy. That one's not bad. And then we've got, what else do we have? We've got ServiceNow. Also coming up on a potential entry, 194. So 38. So 238 minus 5. 233, right? Something like that. Close enough. That's not bad. CRM. CRM's always good. Oh, that's already kind of moving. Well, not sure what kind of base. You have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders pattern here. Looks like it's trying to get over it. It's headed towards highs. There's no double bottom here. This is above the previous low. This may be considered a double bottom here. It just seems a little strange. What do they call it? Moving upright side of new base. 161 entry. 161.29 entry. So 194 give or take for CRM. Well, that's actually really good. Maybe too good. Maybe too good. Hoo hoo ha ha ha. Um. 179, 180. See, that one's not bad. That's a good one right there. If this thing does break out, I mean, it's really early right now. We're not at the breakout point. You're before the breakout point on this one on CRM, but it looks pretty good. Palo Alto Networks. KL is extended. That's that gold play. Yeah, it says teams extended. Not sure it's super extended right now. I think I've done this one. It doesn't work out for me. Could work out for you guys. So 120, 118 for team would be your target. Be a 20% target. Yeah, it's not quite good enough for me. Okay. A biomed. All right, let's go check IBD 50. Got a few minutes left. Vive CYBR is number 2. Someone mentioned CYBR yesterday. This is number 2 on the IBD 50. Already hit an early breakout point. TTD, there's with the double bottom. I don't know if I put TTD on here. I did. Okay, I do have that one. Team Fox. Alarm.com. Super good cash flow. It's got to have super good cash flow. Nokia, give me a symbol, Laurie. I'm trying to do this before the market opens here. MEDP, I've got that in here. I don't know right now. MEDP. I guess 65 would be your level, so that'd be 13, so 78 for MEDP. No, that's not intriguing. ServiceNow, Planet Fitness, that looks like it already is breaking out. Clear stubborn resistance at 58. Nice little flag here on Planet. This would be a little difficult to try to ascertain where your entry would be. I guess it's been very choppy. At one point it's just going to rocket. I don't know. Maybe it's now out of this little pattern, but you have to wait for it to break out of that pattern. So let's say it breaks out here at 59 and change. And give it to 72. Not bad. And okay in USA. All right, let me look. Okay, so looks like we've had our eye on Nokia for a minute. I don't know exactly how long, but we have a larger symmetrical triangle here on the weekly chart down at the lows. I think the play on Nokia, like a lot of things these days, would be the 5G play. Sorry, that's loud. I'm not sure what else the Nokia has up its sleeve. Again, Tilroy's up 3%. Thought they were down 17. Wow, they must have come back significantly. That's pretty cool. All right, well, what's up now? We got CHGG, which we saw yesterday, which was already rocketing higher. So there was your proper buy point. We're already past at 7.5%. Too elevated to get a really good buy on it. Those earnings coming up in a few weeks. Yeah, so that would have been your buy point right there. You're already halfway to your 20% target. 30, let's call it 37 for easy math. And yeah, just not worth it. Just buy the stock. Okay, what else is moving? Tilray, Twilio, Shen. This is Send, not Shen. It moved on me. There we go. There's Shen. So Shen already broke up out of this. We haven't looked at this one in a long time, have we? This one broke out, came back, almost tested the breakout point, and then just bounced right back. So you actually have kind of a mini cup with handle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. 20%. Yeah, this is a cup with handle right here. Your buy point is $50 on Shen. Breakout in the middle of the bear market. I don't know the Shentel. I'm not sure if it's on here on IBD or not. Let me see if Shen's, but your buy point is here on 50 on Shen. Let's take a look at it. Shenandoah Telecommunications. Oh, this is the one that's like a subsidiary of Sprint or something that's in 3 states. My computer is slow today. INSG, yep, doing good. Okay, so this is that one. If you guys remember that one, provides wireless services under Sprint to residential customers in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania again. Oh, Virginia. Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. 97 composite rating. So, yeah, your target here is about $60, give or take, on Shen. So that's not bad. If it can break over that 50 level. See, it had, where are we at? No? Okay, nice little low volume pullback here. That's not bad. Um, yeah, if we go, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I don't know if April getting to 60 is warranted. I mean, it's a beautiful base right here. That's just gorgeous. This big long base, that's really nice. This could even be considered a very large cup with handle breakout with a normalized cup with handle outside of it. Yeah, could imply some continuation, if, especially as the market gets more bullish here. So, yeah, all right, let's take that one. It's a little sooner than I'd like. All right, what else we got here? We mentioned CG. Is it CGC? It's not CGC. What's the other one? So yesterday, Tilray had a huge drop off. Oh, you're mentioning yesterday Tilray was down 17%. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. It's, the MJ sectors had some pretty good runs here. That maybe some residual profit still. Looks like the Nasdaq's making a go for it. Post IPO lockup expires. Oh, I think that's why they were selling yesterday. They're trying to get out before the lockup expired. That could be why. All right, so we got Tilray, we got INSG. Yep, as mentioned, already up a few percentage points. Working nicely out of that little flag break right there. We discussed that the other day. Looks really good. I've got Goose down here in lows, sitting in a little bull flag. Right there, looking very healthy. As a matter of fact, you got the high volume down day with basically a hammer candle. And if it can get above that little hammer candle, I mean, this is almost buyable very quickly. Again, this is one that's down in the dumps. It's below the 200. It's only above the 10-day moving average. This does have some work to do. I don't want to get super excitable on this one. But this could have a move to highs. You can see it always comes up here and tries to test this 66 level down here at 48. Likes to get around 66 and then it kind of fuds its way around. Okay, what else? CYBR's up here. That was kind of our buy point down there. Paycom. There's Paycom. So you mentioned Paycom yesterday. Pulling all the way back here. Looking really good yesterday, and it looks really good today as well. I don't know if I have Paycom on my list. Talk about those moving averages coinciding. That's always good. Tesla's up 1% too. All right, so there's a longer trend line if you do that in Paycom. Then we're just barely breaking out of this. Doing okay. 140, break even 150. All right, so what's left so far? Goose, Chegg, Tran, Boot. Let's look at Boot. So Yeah, Boot is okay. Also a retail play. Wow, look at yesterday. Big hammer candle yesterday. I like these closes. See, these closes like this are very, very healthy. Right there, very, very healthy. That's exactly what you want to see. You want to see high closes ideally. So we had a gap, we came back, we filled the gap, and now we may be back off to the races here in Boot. It's looking pretty good. It's looking good. It's kind of a more recent shift than some of them. Some nice increasing green candles here. The red over here, not too abrasive. We'll see how we close today. It's not a traditional type of a setup. You do have a top trend line here, which if it breaks that, I think that's kind of your go-getter entry point. And we're resting right beneath to break that. Now we have broken above the 50-day moving average here, which is good, very, very good. And yesterday was a great test of it and a support of the 50-day moving average, or support by the 50-day, which shows some more institutional support at these levels. So cross of the 50-day is great, and I don't know if it's going to rocket right away, but it could be pretty good. This broadening thing always freaks me out a little bit. I kind of have to get over that, I think. But yeah, Boot looks pretty good. Let me look at it. What's our high there? 31. Let's just go 30 for fun. Wow. So yeah, so Boot's not bad. Boot's not bad. So if you're looking here, look at almost a 50% gain. But how long is it going to take to get up there? I don't know. It says 43% gain. You can see here on the weekly, it had a high at 34 back in 2015. And then we almost got it at 31.5. And then we came back and tested this prior high. Found support there. So I think in time we could get back up here. But we need to do some more fundamental analysis on it, to be honest with you. Make sure its earnings are still growing. Let me do that real quick. I can do that. So 89 composite rating, which is good. 4 in its industry group, which is good. Operates 226 retail stores offering Western and work-related footwear, apparel, and accessories. So kind of a small-ish market because it's like regional. But regional plays can do very well if they're really hot in that region. 300% EPS change last quarter, 366 the last 3 quarters. Average EPS growth rate. 77 earnings surprise. That's a big number. 43% estimate current quarter, so earnings are slowing down a little bit. What's your sales is 18%, which they have a red dot on that, which means it's not as healthy. 12% 3-year sales growth rate, not as healthy. Pre-tax margins 4.6%. So some good and some bad. It may be slowing a little bit in terms of what it's doing. So I would do a little bit more research before you were to jump into that. Ideally, you want to jump things going into highs, like we've been talking about INSG. It popped before the rest of the market did. This thing could just keep going. But that's what's a little intriguing about Square is it's kind of down towards lows, but it's a pretty leading innovative company. So I think it's a little weird that it's down so far and didn't stay higher. Some of its rivals, like PayPal, actually stayed higher, kind of. It's above its 200-day. It did have some moves below it with the market, but they were actually elevated. So PayPal's a little healthier than Square. As a matter of fact, if you look at PayPal, there's another company that I was wanting to share with you guys that I just didn't do it. There's a couple of them. Green Dot, which is number 1 in the industry group with PayPal and Square, looking kind of similar, but having a romp to the downside here as of late. EEFT coming back. That wasn't the one I wanted to look at, though. There you go, EVTC. EVTC holding up very strong. The 200-day never even came close to being touched. Here you were within 10% of it. But this thing holding up very strong. No position in this, but it's very intriguing. It tried to go into new highs and failed. Not quite sure what that's about. But looking pretty good. These are other ones. ASFI, these are relative strength rated by relative strength. Let's do accumulation distribution rating. USAT has a high accumulation distribution rating, probably because of that big green spike. PYDS. Huh, that's a weird one. Payment data systems. That's weird. GPN. FLT. Really? They're in the same... thought they did tracking. They must have shifted their business model. And then back to PayPal. Who is one of your leaders? You get MasterCard in here. You get Visa in here. Both of these, I think, are always good buys at a discount. You can see this thing doesn't sell like ever. So it started here. This had to have some splits. This was never a $10 stock. This had to have some splits in here. Remember when Visa IPO'd? It was a huge deal. Huge deal. MasterCard, too, they IPO'd pretty close, if I remember correctly, to one another. Yeah, 2006 for MasterCard started at 4. Now it's at frickin' $255, split adjusted for. So, yeah, these MasterCard and Visa, you never get these on a discount. If you're in for longer term, MasterCard and Visa are always good plays. Usually outperforms too, up 100% over 2 years here during that bull run. I'm not sure if the NASDAQ did that or not. I'm not sure what it did over 2 years. 122 to 187. So yeah, it didn't go up 100%. Did pretty good here. So we'll say this, at some particular point, we don't have to, but we're likely to have some kind of a pullback. And that would be, hopefully we get a little higher and then it comes back and tests the 50. I think that'd be pretty cool. Be a great place to kind of buy some of these and see what holds up good on a pullback test like that. AMRN. Did wife leave? No, wife did not leave. Oh, it's only 7:40. It's only 7:44. Wow, I feel like I have lots of time today. Lucky me. All right, let's go through the list today. Oh, you're leaving now? Where's Ethan? Send him in. Ethan, hold on, guys. All right, so it looks like the NASDAQ lifted off a little bit. Don't go too far too fast, NASDAQ. So Wynn Casinos looks like it's... So look at these trends on Wynn on the weekly. It's crazy. Look at that. Huge trend. Huge trend. Huge continuation. Now we get a big trend to the downside. Maybe we'll get another big move to the upside. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not quite sure why it's so cyclical. I don't really keep up on the casinos in terms of a sector, but if you look at LVS, they had huge runs back in 2013 together. Very same cyclical pattern with LVS, and it's multi-year. I'm not quite sure why that, but if we do get into a situation, look at that sell-off, and then we have elevated volume right here. So there's some accumulation down here in LVS. I'm assuming it's going to be the same with Wynn. He has some high volume down here. And then we may get liftoff. We'll have to see. It's always hard to say buy these things like this, but when you see those big trends, I'm always intrigued as a trend trader. When the trend shifts and you see just a huge swing like that, you know, you're talking a 70% swing and Wynn. That's a huge swing back up to the $193 range from $112. So the Qs today, I will say, a little bit lower volume than yesterday. Not quite sure if we're going to maintain this rally if we have volume similar to this throughout the day, lower throughout the day. We did have another follow-through day yesterday. I'm not sure if IBD touched on that or not.
$1.
Nice, James.
Anyone can me, but it's just normal.
So enthralled, he's playing Zelda, so enthralled. Couldn't stop himself. I didn't feel like stamping on him. So confirmed uptrend, one distribution in S&P. I wanted to see if it said NASDAQ 100 rallied 2% to reclaim its 50-day moving average. The SOX did it on January 9th. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So let's see. I want to see if they mentioned another follow-through day. They'll say that sometimes. You want to see more indexes and industry sectors participating in the upside. Yeah, as we were playing Breath of the Wild, it is a pretty amazing game. It's, oh my gosh, we got it for Christmas for the kids, and they can't play it very, very well. But it's been non-stop like since we got that game. The week or so after Christmas was almost 24/7, which is not, we've never done that with the kids before, but my wife was super enthralled in it, and she's not very good, so I have to end up beating all the levels so that I get sucked in. It's an amazing, very immersive game. It's a very rich game too, I will say. There's some repetitiveness to it, but all video games have a little bit of repetitiveness. But yeah, it's really a good game. As a matter of fact, my son James turns 5 in 3 months, and I'm like, what I want to do is like a Zelda. I want to do like a Zelda immersive with him, where he's Zelda. I'm gonna put like towers around the house, and in Zelda they have towers which open maps to new lands, and shrines which give you like weapons and powers and these special things called orbs. Anyway, I'm gonna make him the main character Link. I'm gonna have him run around the whole house, and I'm gonna put a Sheikah slate, which is their map, on my phone, hand him my phone, and he can look around the map and do things and go and fight bad guys. And I don't know. I got 3 months to plan it. It's going to be ridiculous. I think I'm going to have more fun planning it for the next 3 months than he is going to be doing it in 3 months. Buy Nintendo shares? Yeah, I don't think. It's a long story game. I don't know if people have that kind. I mean, Fortnite's the rage right now. If you play for 20 minutes and die in Fortnite, Zelda, it's like you have to play it for a year to finish it. Anyway, yeah, real game review. Yeah, I don't know. I want to do. I'm probably going to start another YouTube channel the next couple of months here about home improvements and DIY stuff, because I love that stuff. I do a bunch. I do electrical, drywall, baseboards, painting. I can weld. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I need to post some videos out there. Anyway, I'm looking for them talking about an additional follow-through day yesterday. I didn't see mention of it. Let me just search follow-through. For follow-through. Anything I can't do? No. As a matter of, I will. Well, I don't have an engineering degree. I really would like to build robots, and I was hoping one of my kids would be into that, but so far none of them are. So I don't get to release that inner geek. I was never good in school. I wish I would have taken more electronics courses. But no, when I used to do work in really high-end homes, never. I was given the job. So our company was very small, about 8 people, but we routinely installed in houses over $5 million. And one of our houses was about $7 million, and they had like 46 motorized shades in the place. And my job was to install all the motorized shades. And let's see if I can show you guys pictures. Now I'm going to geek out a little bit. See if I can find these photos. You know what? I think they're on Facebook. So this house, I mean, every house has an architect. This house had an architect. This house was amazing. Every single room had a different style to it. Like every bedroom, every section of the house. It was about, it was like 7,000 square feet or something like that. And very angular. The whole outside was wrapped in copper. I mean, it's just an amazing, amazing house. And I did all the shades in it, all the Crestron shades. And I had to cut all the boxes, and they had to be perfect. I mean, you're talking a $7 to $10 million house. One of the, in Arizona we have lots of great architects, but really, really good architect. And I even took them home at one particular point in time, but I spent, I'd say, a good 3 weeks just cutting shades, cutting shade boxes and stuff like that. I mean, it's quite amazing. Oh, here it is. I don't know how many. Okay, so I'm completely geeking out here. So this is one of the bedrooms. This is a while back, so the photo sucks. But any drape in here I put in. And I mean, the workmanship in this house. So this is one bedroom. Look at the drapes. I have another picture. This one. I took a couple pictures of each bedroom. So the nightstands are all custom. I mean, the doors are flush with drywall. The baseboards are wood, but they're flush with the drywall. I mean, it's just, if you guys are into houses, that's one of my colleagues. This is a different bedroom. The furniture, so the TV was wrapped in a casing with some wood. I can't even explain this house without you going. This is another bedroom, similar style bedding, but this I think is padded and the drapes are different. This is one of my coworkers, Zach. This is actually a mosaic, not a mosaic, but so there's the front door to the house, right there. These are all faux, Venetian plaster walls, travertine baseboard flush with the drywall. It's just amazing. So this is a panoramic of the house. So this is a custom sculpture. There's actually LED lights in here and water flows out of this. It's crazy. This is a quartz backs. This is like a quartz countertop. At night this glows. At night this actually glows through the white seams. These are the kind of houses I was working in. My buddy Zach, who was in the middle of me taking this panoramic photo. The floors are just crazy. Like, these guys were working on this corner here for like a month, just because they kept screwing up. So bathroom upstairs, and then goes into the living room. These are some of the shades that I put in there. They didn't have shades up here, but this is copper wrapping up here. I'm geeking out on this house right now. If you're leaving, I don't blame you, but getting these shades straight, even in a house as perfect as this, is always a challenge. And these things just came out really good. Very custom coffee table. This house was stupid. This house was just stupid. So there's the kitchen. I'll have other pictures of the kitchen. Look at the soffits on the ceiling. I mean, it's just amazing. You can't see the lights. I think I took a picture of the speakers. A wine cellar, kind of an octagon table thing. These are some of the shade. These aren't shades. These are drapes. But that's a big. Anyway, so that's the end of that panoramic photo. So a photo of the headboard with the pad on it. That's another house. This is a 50,000 square foot house worth $60 million. Okay, so I don't have the same. It's not all the same house. This isn't the same house though. That's a theater. That's what I did, is the theaters. The pool in that house. That's the second house. This is a guest bedroom fireplace. Like, look at the detail that goes into this thing. So all stone wall. Again, you got a baseboard right there. Square speaker right here. Is another one on the other side. That's those things backlit up. Floating shelves right there. And I'm having pictures of my boxes. Anyway, I geek out on stuff like this maybe once or twice a year. Pretty cool TV installation, some detail right there. You see this step. I mean, just the details in this house is amazing. So I always had there's LEDs in that fixture thing. This is a different one. There are two houses they built simultaneously with the same architect, and so they're kind of a mixture of pictures. There's the outside of the one. These are all the shades I put in. It's not this jagged. This is the software doing that, but this is copper wrapping around the top here. That'll patina over time. This is when the house is brand new. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's that. So you can see this is one bedroom and then another bedroom. Everything's different. It's so freaking cool. I know, man. It's just amazing. That guy, what was he? He was a CEO of something. I forget. Anyway, so many people I lost. Not too many people. So anyway, there's not much I can't do. No, there's actually not much I can't do. Never did shades in my life. I had to install, I think it was 46 shades, and about 20, 30 of them had shade boxes, crazy angles, and they had to be perfect. And we couldn't repaint them. I mean, I was giving leeway. He's like, yeah, just get it done get it done within, like, I think it was a month. I'm like, okay. Pretty much lived at that house. Good days, man. I kind of missed that work. That was very, very rewarding work. I may go back someday, to be honest with you. It's kind of a little boring doing this all day long. But no place wants a part-time employee. Like, I wouldn't mind going there for 4 hours a day and doing stuff like that, but they want full-time. So maybe not. Square looking pretty good here with a nice little high tight pattern. Volume declining, showing lack of selling pressure. So I'm sure this will probably rocket up in the next week or so. We'll see. Let's look at Square on the weekly. Yep, that's right, Lori. Everything has its upsides. Exactly. Yep, that's upsides and downsides. The downside of that is I was pretty much topped out in my field for the past 10 years without really able to make any more money. I wasn't able to watch my investments. So they kind of push you out of the industry a little bit. So there's something called a 3 weeks tight pattern. You usually want that after a breakout. Square here hasn't really had a traditional breakout. This is not a traditional breakout. We're actually, okay, we are above the 50-day. That's the 10-day. That's the 200-day. So we haven't broken above the 200-day yet, but we have broken above the 50-day. If we, well, what is it, Wednesday? So I can't say we're going to close here. What? It's Wednesday, right? My computer's being slow, and I just restarted it yesterday. So it's Wednesday, a little too early to call 3 weeks tight pattern, but if you go into the weekly charts and you see 3 weeks really tight in a row within 1.5% of each other of the weekly close, that's called a 3 weeks tight pattern. This actually doesn't qualify. It's 2.15% these 3 weeks. But if you get a 3 weeks tight pattern, it's actually a very, very powerful continuation pattern. And anytime I get these really tight actions like this, I always, it's very similar to a bull flag, if you will, but just it's really, especially the closes, it implies institutional accumulation. I mean, they want to pay up to like $2.15, or let's say it's $66. If you have institutions that don't want to pay more than $66, they'll buy anything under 66, just continuously. And that's what is identified by that 3 weeks tight pattern. So it's a continuation pattern, it's an accumulation pattern, and that's ideally what you'd like to see. What's up with Bud? I don't know. Let's go check Bud. Just saw that comment there. I think we talked about this a little bit ago, and this being in an extreme downtrend. Yeah, Budweiser was acquired by some German company, I think. Was it German or Dutch or something like that? Several years ago, maybe 8-10 years ago. It was a huge story, huge story. Nice little breakout gap day there. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it did break that trend line right there. So it could also find support at the trend line, but it tried to get above the 50-day there. Belgian, there you go. Yeah, it was Belgian. It was Anheuser-Busch, wasn't it? No, that was Budweiser. What was the name? It wasn't InBev, was it? No, it wasn't InBev. I don't know. Anywho, broke above that right there. Went above the 50-day on very good volume. Really, I mean, kind of bullish action, but lower volume preceding that. And then now we have this big gap down day. I'm not quite sure why that is. Oh, cut to underperform from hold by Jefferies. Okay. Jefferies is probably one of the more not horrible analyst companies. They're horrible, but they're not as horrible as, like, say, something put up by Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. Or Citigroup. Or any of those. But yeah, Yeah, I wouldn't be so enthused by Bud. I'd like to see a lot more bullish price action. It needs to. So, here we go. So we move lower, consolidate, go lower. Now we're consolidating again. Okay, we want to see some kind of consolidation, then a break higher is ideally what you'd like to see. I'm trying to think of a good example right now in the moment of that. Oh, INSG up 3.5% now. But you know what I'm talking about. You want to see a consolidation. Like, say we didn't have this down drop here and we just went sideways. If we broke above this, that would be a little more bullish. I'd have a little more faith in that. But right here, you still have mixed volume up and down. Not a lot of accumulation. You have the opportunity to, you know what? I'm going to play you guys a video. And I'm probably going to screw this up. Let me just tell you right now. I'm probably going to screw this up so we have the double audio thing, which I think I was plagued with yesterday. 8 Super Bowl ads. So, does that make you want to buy the stock? What does that have to do with earnings? Growth for the next 2 to 3 years. Institutions don't care about Super Bowl ads. When you're buying stocks, all you're doing is following institutional money. They could give 2 craps about Super Bowl ads. Do they have 12 new beers coming out? I mean, what's the impetus for them to go higher? If you view this as a value play, that could be one thing. If you're viewing this as a trading opportunity, when you're trading, you're expecting an immediate profit. The Super Bowl's not even for... Actually, I haven't seen one football game this whole season because I'm stuck in my house all day long. But, I mean, Budweiser's not a new product. There's really nothing super exciting about it. It's in a huge downtrend. If you're playing it for the next 5 years, you think it's going to go back to $100, $120, that's one thing. But trading it, just actively trading it, look at the weekly chart. What's intriguing about that to you? Nothing's intriguing about that to me. Like, absolutely nothing. Just to be quiet. I'd much rather be in this, it just moved on me. I'd much rather be in INSG than I would be in Budweiser. This at least looks like it's rocketing higher. It may pull back from 6 to 5, and, we'll see what happens, but it has an impetus to go higher. When I look at these charts, the first thing I look at is what direction is this chart going? Well, this one was going here. Now it's going up. Okay, good. Now we can get on with the business of what's more immediate. That's how I view charts. No, probably not. Maybe it's a little low in that pattern, but save. Oh, actually save maybe. It's kind of been on the upthrust lately, but you don't want to be involved in things that are just in perpetual downtrends because you never know where they finish. Like Weibo right now. Oh, here's your weekly chart of Weibo. Looks like it could have a floor in here. Could have a floor. Okay, so this is a little different. This is a perpetual. See, I won't invest at all through here. Now we have a little bit of a base. There's obviously some accumulation here at about the $53 level. So right now you actually have a pretty, maybe a tight stop loss. And it's not that tight. You'd want to give it about 8 or 9%. But even then, I'd rather invest over 71 here. But that's actually not horrible. INSG in an uptrend. Winnebago maybe reversing here, maybe. On the weekly chart, we've had a couple legs lower. So that's a little intriguing. Taking out this high right there. Volume's been pretty green. You're looking for accumulation signs is what you're looking for. You don't just blindly invest in big names, especially big names. Especially big names because they may never come back. GE's a prime example of that. I'm not sure what are they doing now. So we actually had conversations about GE, I think, when it was up here. If I remember properly. Actually, this is a little more intriguing. Yeah, remember we had conversations here. I said, no, there's no major accumulation. It had this huge move to the downside. And now we actually do have some accumulation. So this is a little bit different. This is see the volume on the weekly. Look at how massive it is right here. Now, it did go from 12 to 6. That was a 50% clip. I guess 7. But then you see the volume remain elevated. You see this average volume, it remains high. It's starting to drop off now. They bought it up, looks like around $7. So you want to follow this volume. You don't want to lead the volume. So you could have This wasn't really enough to be bullish. This is much more to be potentially bullish, in my opinion. So if someone says now I want to buy GE, I'm like, maybe. Yeah, I'm not super mad at it now. You got lots of accumulation. You're off the lows. Some earnings are coming up. Still 26% to the bottom, so it's come up. It's come up about 40%. I'm not saying, I don't know or think we're probably going to get back up into highs up here anytime soon. It'll probably take years for us to get higher. But if you have that time frame, and that's your bag, that's perfectly fine with me. But this is a little better. Anyway, I'm not going to go too crazy deep. Looks like Square finally broke its range, or trying to. It was up 1%, now up 2%. Trying to get up there and break that range. The Nasdaq's looking good. And I think I got to go. It's about 8:10. I got to get ready for real crypto. Put the newsletter together. What ended up being kind of a choppy night a little bit. INS, Twitter, doing okay. Eli Lilly just bounced on me. Eli Lilly actually coming up to a buy point. It's really close to it, as a matter of fact. The buy point right now is probably above this high at 119. IBD would call it 119.94. They want it 10 cents above a prior high. But Eli Lilly has really been stoic and stagnant throughout this bear market. It topped a little earlier than most. It topped here in, looks like, the beginning of October. I think we went to the crapper at the end of, maybe it was the beginning of October. We ended up going to the dumps for the first time. But you can see here, rock solid in Eli Lilly. This thing has been just a beast. It's just been sitting up here, so I wouldn't forget this one. This one day we'll rock it up and be at 150 before you know it. I kind of have that feeling. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for joining me today. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.